Hello, guys. Welcome to the first episode of the Night We Met series. Here we tell real stories by real people and how they met. Sit tight, relax, grab a popcorn, and let's get right into it. We met for the very first time on the 4th of January 2025 at a friend's wedding. On the surface, nothing about that moment seemed extraordinary. But the story of how we got to that point, the divine orchestration behind the scenes, is what I really want to share. It might come across as a little spooky, but telling it any other way would be dishonest. So here's the true story of how we met, or at least the sequence of events that led to it. In November 2024, our church theme for the month was on the subject of prayer, and I had earnestly be believing God for a life partner. The following month was going to be Reboot Camp. Apostle Emmanuel Iren preached on the prayer that works on the 24th of November. He emphasized the importance of persistent prayer, encouraging us to pray until the answer came. He even instructed us to embark on 21 days of prayer leading up to Reboot Camp. From that moment, I made a firm decision. I would dedicate my prayer time to seeking God about my life partner, praying in tongues daily with intentional consistency. Then came January 2nd, 2025, around 5 p.m. I was heading out to pick up my agbada somewhere in Benin City for the wedding where I would meet my wife in person for the very first time. That's when something unusual happened. While walking down the road, I had a feeling. The best way I can describe it is like one of those cinematic main character moments, as if everything around me was choreographed, like a scene unfolding just for me. It was so vivid that I posted about it on my WhatsApp status saying, I have this feeling like everything happening now is because of me. Moments later, a car ignited and drove off as I passed by. Again, I updated my status. That feeling when you step into a scene and the cars start to move because you have arrived. Action. Interesting. That was the beginning of the chaos. I then took a bike and stopped at my junction, where I unexpectedly ran into a pastor friend, Reverend George, who would eventually be officiating my wedding. He was at the reception venue finalizing some plans. I hadn't seen him. He spotted me and sent someone to call my attention. Then he told me that Perfect, our mutual friend, was going to see our pastor and asked if I wanted to come along. I agreed, but said I'd first pick up my clothes and get a haircut. We eventually saw the pastor around 9 p.m. and then went to George's place. While there, I experienced the same sensation again. Identical to the one I felt earlier during my walk. We were about to leave when I suddenly stopped everyone and said, if you check my WhatsApp status from this afternoon, I posted something about a feeling I had. I'm having that same exact feeling right now. I think we should pray for George. I didn't know that this simple act would spark a chain reaction. The very next day, at the wedding, a beautiful lady walked up to me and greeted me. I casually responded, "Oh, my in-law, how are you doing? Just friendly banter." Later at the reception, a friend, Peter, came to me and said, "There's someone I think you should meet." I asked, "Who?" And he replied with something like, "You led prayers," referencing the night before. It hit me. The only other person who could have shared that detail with Peter was my wife's twin sister, as she was also present. Turns out, after that prayer that night, Esoe had told her twin, my wife, winks into B, "There's this guy, I think you would like him." So I asked Perfect to introduce me to the twin sister. To my amazement, we realized we had the same name. Interesting. Went to the same school and studied the same course. I took her contact just to stay in touch, but quickly I realized she was so easy to fall in love with. She felt like home and exactly who I had been praying for all along. Here's the timeline of our journey. We met January 5th. I asked her out Valentine's Day, February 14th. Proposed on June 12th. Did our introduction June 14th. And we are getting married October 17th and 18th. This was truly God in action. And I am absolutely grateful for meeting the absolute love of my life. Wow. Beautiful.